Liliya is one of the best commanders in the game right now, and for good reason. So stick around in this video because I'm going to be teaching you how to use her, her talents, her pairings, and so much more. What is up guys, MEOWER here back with a brand new video. On the next episode of the Commander series, Revamped, we'll be discussing Liliya. Liliya is definitely one of the best commanders in the game by far. She's so useful, she's so versatile, and she has so much uses. But before we get started, I would like to make a special announcement that I finally have a Discord. And special thanks to 5end, aka Pause, for pretty much handling the whole thing and making it all from scratch. So a big shout out to Pause. Thank you very much, my friend, or my brother rather. I will be posting the link to the Discord down below. With that good news out of the way, let's get started. Liliya is a magic commander. She's a legendary, and she's one of the two VIP commanders along with Hosk. However, Hosk, we'll discuss him in a separate video. For now, let's focus on Liliya. Liliya's skills is all about AoE, dealing damage, more AoE, dealing even more damage, and then finally when you awaken her, you're gonna deal even more damage. That is also happens to be AoE. Now she does have a second skill which is pretty useless. Dealing damage to darklings and dark creatures is pretty useless right now in the game. Peacekeeping is pretty underwhelming. However, it will help you out in the early game and will help you speed up your progress. This I will take a different approach to Liliya because she's a special case. She can only be upgraded from the VIP store, rather from the VIP packs, the honorary levels. You do need around $6 worth of packs just to get her first kill maxed. You can chill at her first kill maxed for now, and it will carry you through quite a lot, through a large portion of the game, even in PvP. However, if you do want to get her all finished up eventually, she costs around $183, I believe, just to max her out, and you do need to be honor level 9 just to get her last pack and get her final amount. Because you gotta keep in mind, every single legendary commander is requires 690 sculptures, and as always, no matter what happens, with some exceptions, don't grade a commander more than 1 star unless their first skill is level 5. That's a good rule of thumb to keep in mind, no matter which commander it is. Of course, there is an exception for this, but we'll get to that when it comes to their turn in this. But yeah, now let's dive into her talents. Liliya's talents are okay. However, I do recommend that you never use her as primary, and I will explain why in a little bit. But if you do have no choice and would like to use her as primary, she really only has two builds. We'll go for let's start it all over again. We'll go for attack, defense, HP, and then we're gonna spec into the skill tree. Go for the standard overall attack, intimidation for even more skill damage, and then we're gonna go for high spirits just to gain more rage. We'll definitely go for boiling blood because every single mage commander does damage with their skills, with exception of Thea. If you're running Thea secondary, I would say Spirit of Rage. If not, if you're running any other standard mage commander, then definitely go for boiling blood. Then we're gonna go for the HP mitigation, just to mitigate 2% HP, which is huge. We're gonna go for the crit build, since that's the only viable build on the crit tree. And then you have two options, which just depends on you and your playstyle. You have Thirst for Blood, which does even more damage every time you cast a skill, or you have Cage Animal for prolonged fights. Since you are a mage, an argument can be made that you're definitely gonna last a long time fighting and pulling off multiple hero skill damage. So I would definitely say Caged Animal is the favorable one. And then we're gonna go for Magic HP. We're gonna get some march speed since we don't want to overcap on rage generation, since you can only generate 220 rage per second, the maximum cap. And then we'll go for even more skill damage, and we'll finally finish it off with Magic Maelstrom. The second build, which I do not recommend at all, will go for the Magic Tree as primary. We're gonna get the defense, we're gonna get the HP, we're gonna get Mighty Power, then HP, we're gonna get March Speed. Let me just finish this up real quick. Intimidation, Magic Maelstrom, and then here it gets pretty tricky. You don't want to be tanky since you're a mage and your entire job is to deal even more damage. This might be good, but if you're taking skill damage as a mage, you're gonna get melted anyway, so I don't recommend it. You might as well just go full glass cannon. You're gonna deal 5% more damage to magic damage to infantry, which is pretty good since infantry has relatively low magic defense. There's an option between chant and shelter of compassion. I would go for chant because the entirety of your damage is coming from hero skill, but this is kind of counterproductive since you are taking. Wait, sorry, I messed up. You're gonna take 2.5 more percent hero skill damage, but your attack is increased by 2.5%. Pretty lackluster. Not gonna lie, not my favorite tree at all. We're gonna go for insult to injury since it benefits your scorch even more, and then you have. I would go for elemental boost here just for the raw HP. Iconoclasm. Meh. Actually, I think Iconoclasm would be the better choice here rather than elemental boost. My bad, I guess. Not definitely not my favorite tree. As you can see, I have no experience with the magic tree since I don't look past Magic Maelstrom because the rest is pretty lackluster as you can see. And here will be standard as usual. Attack, intimidation, some rage generation, and then finally, if you're running a regular mage next to her, you're gonna run Burning Blood. If not, you're gonna go for Spirit of Rage since you're gonna be running Thea otherwise. Now, there is a reason why I said Liliya is not a good primary commander. That's because most mage commanders have access to Boiling Blood, or in Valiant's case, they have even better trees than she does. So it's just not as recommended that you run her as primary because the common two pairs you're going to see Liliya run with are the Liliya Waldir. Well, in this case, will be Waldir Liliya, and then Valiant Liliya. However, in my opinion, I would say she meshes pretty well with Alwyn, just because both of them have a lot of continuous damage together, especially when they're both awakened, and they're gonna deal constant DPS while giving Liliya a much needed CC factor with her. That being said, since Valiant does have the magic and control in PvP, I would definitely give Alwyn the primary lead, then Liliya secondary. If you're running Waldir Liliya, then Waldir lead, Liliya secondary, and the same can be said for Valiant. Liliya Valiant primary, Liliya secondary. So there's really almost no scenario where you put Liliya. Some people run Liliya Husk. In that case, you would also put in Spirit of Rage instead of Boiling Blood. That's it for the builds, though. I definitely don't recommend Liliya as the lead, but if you do want to use her as lead, feel free to do so. Just not as recommended and not as viable as others. Now, Liliya is a fantastic PvP commander. That's where she definitely shines the most. So keep that in mind. She's great in the open field. She's not as good at rallying, and she's definitely not good at defending or garrisoning anything at all. That's all for Liliya. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me down in the comments below or come chat with me on my Discord. Again, I will be posting its link down in the description of this video. Again, a big shout out and a big special thanks to 5and aka Pause for taking the time and effort to make the Discord. I love you, bro. If you like this video, please leave a like, comment, share with your friends, and please don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the next video. Meow meow.